Hello friends, Dhanvin here. Let's quickly discuss the brainstem localization topic. Now, first thing you have to know is how to identify the image of a midbrain, a pons or a medulla. See, if there is a cerebral aqueduct, then it is a midbrain. Okay, and if there is a fourth ventricle behind, behind, it can be either pons or medulla. And how to differentiate is about we should look into the inferior olivar nucleus. If there is inferior olivar nucleus, then it is medulla. Okay, so that was the first point, how to identify the image of a midbrain, pons or a medulla. That is, if there is cerebral aqueduct, it is midbrain. If there is fourth ventricle, it can be either pons or medulla, but medulla has got inferior olivary nucleus. That is the first point. Second thing is to tell is how do we tell that it is midbrain, pons or medulla. Okay, and the third thing we have to tell is whether it is medial midbrain or lateral midbrain, whether it's medial pons or lateral pons, whether it's medial medulla or a lateral medulla. Okay, so like that, the first, okay, if there is basically it's very easily identified by knowing the cranial nerves. Okay, suppose if there are symptoms and signs of a 9, 10, 11, 12 cranial nerve, then the lesion is in medulla. If it is 5, 6, 7, 8 cranial nerve, it is pons. If it is third and fourth cranial nerve, it is midbrain. Okay, so basically if the last 4 cranial nerves are involved, then it is medulla. Okay, if the 5, 6, 7, 8 cranial nerves are involved, it is pons. If it is 3 and 4 cranial nerves are involved, then it is midbrain. So by that we can easily tell whether it is midbrain, pons or medulla. Okay, now how to tell whether it is medial or lateral? Again, this thing also can be told by knowing the cranial nerves. Okay, if the cranial nerves 3, 4, 6 and 12, if the cranial nerves 3, 4, 6 and 12 are involved, then definitely it should be a medial syndrome, because 3, 4, 6, 12 are located medially. Okay, if the cranial nerves 3, 4, 6, 12 are involved, then it should be a medial syndrome. It should be a medial syndrome. It can't be a lateral syndrome. If there are any other cranial nerves other than 3, 4, 6, 12 are involved, then it is a lateral syndrome. Okay, other than that, if there is one more way of telling whether it's medial or lateral syndrome, that is, if in the question they have told you symptoms and signs of tracts, okay, then how do you tell whether it is medial or lateral syndrome? It is very simple. Look at this. If any tract starting with the letter M is involved, then it is a medial syndrome. If any tract starting with the letter S, that is side, then it is a lateral syndrome. Okay, which are the tracts which are starting with letter M? Okay, like the motor tracts. Okay, like the medial longitudinal fasciculus or the medial longitudinal fasciculus, motor tract or the corticospinal tract. If these tracts are involved, okay, then it is a medial syndrome. And if there is any tract starting with the letter S are involved, then it is a lateral syndrome, like spinothalamic tract, spinocerebellar tract, or any other sensory tract, okay, or a sympathetic tract. If these are involved, then it is a lateral syndrome. Okay, so that completes the localization of the midbrain, pons or medulla. Okay, we tell whether it is medial or we tell it is midbrain, pons or medulla by looking at the cranial nerves. If the 9, 10, 11, 12 are involved, it is medulla. If 5, 6, 7, 8 are involved, it is pons. And if it is 3 and 4 are involved, then it is midbrain. We tell it is medial or lateral again by looking at the cranial nerves. That is, the cranial nerves 3, 4, 6, 12 are involved, then it is medial. If any other cranial nerves other than 3, 4, 6, 12 are involved, okay, if any other cranial nerves other than these 3, 4, 6, 12 are involved, then it is a lateral syndrome. Okay, one more way of identification whether it is medial or lateral is by knowing at the tracts. Okay, tracts starting with the letter M, okay, those the lesion is medial. Okay, and tract starting with the letter S, okay, those lesion is lateral. Okay, tract starting with the letter M are motor tract, corticospinal tract, medial lemniscus, medial longitudinal fasciculus. Tract starting with the letter S are sensory tract, spinothalamic tract, spinocerebellar tract, or sympathetic tract. Okay, it's very important to know whether it is medial or lateral syndromes. Okay, this is the basic overview about the brainstem localization. It's also very important to know the eponyms of the names of these syndromes. That is, different names are given to these syndromes, so kindly go through them. For example, okay, medial midbrain syndrome is called as a Weber syndrome. Okay, and the lateral medullary syndrome is called as a Wallenberg syndrome. Okay, so there are many eponyms, so kindly go through that. Okay, and one more thing you have to know is, again, midbrain, you see that it's called as a Weber syndrome. As you go posteriorly, it is called as a Parinot syndrome. Okay, so there are different syndromes are there, so kindly go through that. But this is the basic overview of localization, that you need to tell whether it's midbrain, pons or medulla, and you should be also in a position to tell whether it is medial or lateral.